close for them, and Shin popped off in the group stage.
All right, thank you very much, Avenger. Thank you for biding our time as we've got ourselves Erangel on the way. It's the grassy pastures here at PGS2.
Always great to get the insights from our knowledge analyst desk. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Martin. As we head on over to Erangel. 3 more to go today before we'll be halfway through this losers bracket. And I'm worried for some of these teams. I mean, we just had a deep dive into 4 AM here, Godspeed. It's not looking good for them.
Oh, it's not, especially as the desk was saying, you know, a team with such a pedigree, right? Half of that team being world champions as well. They just have not been able to put it together. Now, at the very least, this playing path is going to be very even, so a lot of the teams will stretch and go wherever they want to. But yeah, looking at a team like 4AM, I think all of us were even talking about it before the event started. We're like, oh, 4AM is going to be like one of the strongest teams here.
And one of the things are you're always thinking, well, I mean, they're new. As James said, honeymoon period and all that. They fracked out in the Chinese qualifier. The thing is, there's a big difference in getting together and getting things going online to now you having to, again, I mean, I've talked about in the previous game, live together with new people. It's 2 people that haven't been on teams before, joined by 2 people that also haven't been on that team before. So it's there's a lot that goes into it. And while I've been trying to, you know, just pull some information out of the 4AM boys, they're very quiet when it comes to pre-game talks. They want to keep it all to themselves. They want to talk about it in game and not share too much. But
I mean, even if they did, it doesn't seem like it's really making a difference, right?
No,
even
true,
for whatever
true.
information they're not sharing, they are just still struggling to make something happen. Even in the group stages, I mean, they were much quieter than we thought they would be.
And I think one of the big things, at least to me, in the way that we've seen them play so far, as the circle does pop up just north of Rostock, is that they're a team, even with the old roster, a team that that decided the flow of lobbies. Every team that was around them would play 4AM PUBG, because if you didn't adapt to what 4AM was doing, they would slaughter you, essentially. And now with Xiaopian, the former in-game leader, and HSFM, but Xiaopian, the former in-game leader from New Happy joining. New Happy, I mean, the finish to what was New Happy before, it was also a bit on a downhill. I mean, they were, again, in similar fashion to 4AM, having been for a while. New Happy was the team out of China for a while, and then when they weren't, then they left, then they broke up, then they joined 4AM, and maybe it's down to decision making in terms of Xiaopian and how he dictates the flow of the game, because they're all incredible players. They're good fraggers, the majority of them, as well. As you take a look at our top 5 killers here with Perfectix in the top, they're really good players. They just don't position themselves in a way where they can take advantage of their skill sets. I feel like they're playing passive, they're wrapping on the edges. When they do fight, it becomes these cluster full-on pull-up fights that, I mean, in all fairness, at this level of play, anyone can win against anyone. If you want to go out and win a game and that caters to your skill sets, play it out in the open, wrap around, take like smart, controlled fights. I like what we saw from the previous game, how they tried to back off from fights that didn't like, but just over the course of the whole tournament, I've seen them seemingly find themselves forced into fights where I'm like, why are you even attempting this? There's no point in it. Just back off, take a smarter fight 20 seconds from now, and go for it then. But that could just be them, again, still new team together, trying to figure things out at LAN.
But then even just talking about that last game, which we did speak about how we did like the way they were approaching that, they still showed the hesitation. I think hesitation is actually what is exactly the correct word to use, is they've been a little passive, which is exactly the opposite as what we've seen from both of those kind of duos now making the team of 4AM in previous rosters. They were, as you said, much more in control and much more in the pace of dictating the circles, and that's not been the case here. Even in the last game in Tego against the fight with 17, I mean, we were begging them to basically go and take that fight, and they kind of let the fight come to them, which didn't work out in their favor at all.
No, not at all. And while I don't mean to interrupt you, I just cannot help but be a little baffled by the fact that, once again,
D plus Kia
is set in a compound, allowing opponents to just come up, take what they want, and leave with literally no risk involved. This is the 3rd time in 4 matches they're just sitting back saying, oh, you want to loot? Oh, you want me to run out and drop it for you? Oh, I'm sorry. Just please get away from here.
Please take
I respect the defensive playstyle, but guys, come on, peek him.
I mean, those are, think about it this way, those are all early game points, right? Especially when the majority of the team of D plus Key is around those members. That's 3 points they potentially have missed out on already. And we saw in the winners bracket 2, 3 points, even 1 point could be the difference between qualifying and not. So yeah, D plus Kia is just very content with like, okay, you can have it.
There's a passive play style, and then there's don't allow them to stand on you. Like, at least go out and punch back to some extent. But now let's see. I mean, Minuta allowing for 2 players to do what they wanted. Let's see if he'll allow for 3 as well as E-Arena. Nah, they're not going down that compound. No. I thought maybe they wanted to at least send 1 down to kind of claim some space, but I think they're going full committed up towards the mountain to scout further forward, because as we saw before, there is a good chance this one swings up towards the north, so no reason for E-Arena to set up shop outside the circle.
Yeah, and we did. I mean, you briefly mentioned the circle at the top of the game, but yeah, this one becomes very difficult, especially with all of that Yas Lake and River that does split Razak from the north and south, and crossing that can be very hellacious, especially when we go into Circle 3, Circle 4, when a lot of the teams are already set up in that area. So look for a lot of these teams to kind of get a foothold. As you said, most of them are going to position themselves towards the north so they can make sure that they are in the position once the circle shifts to not have to cross late.
And as we're seeing on the map, it's a pretty even split between the teams on the north and the southern side, which makes sense because the river pretty much cuts right down the middle. But oftentimes you do see more teams set up on the down on the southern side, because it is easier to rotate out of the south into the north. Whereas when you come north to south, you're running, through Razak, you're running through Yas, you're running through all some of these really difficult kind of choke points that you just don't want to have to maneuver your way through. North is easier, as we see Tai Lu. A few shots fired, not really too much connecting. Forrest just saying, we're here, fear us, we're only 2, so please fear us, because if not, then we're going to be in trouble.
We really hope you fear us.
We really hope you fear us, because we are only 2, at least for the next 20 seconds.
But even when we look at rotations, Toby, and we look at what's happening on the west side, right? Even if you do go for like a wide rest wrap, you probably are going to have a team like Game PT or even E-Arena coming around Cube, and that becomes a very problematic area to rotate from as well, especially when you have teams kind of spread out across that coast. So again, a lot of these teams opting to come in early, opting to hedge their bet on the north side, as majority of it is going to be the circle, at least, going to be on that north side. But the east is actually completely clean, so that is actually it's very easy to rotate on that wide wrap from the east as well. We'll see if any of the teams, specifically I'm looking at Sarvin, will take that option.
One thing's for sure, and it's pretty much, I can't see a circle where quite a big majority of teams won't have to just really rotate far, because even if it sent us up, we're forcing teams to fully commit to one side or the other of the water, right? It's looking to be pretty much regardless of where this next circle shifts, we're going to see at least 3-4 teams that are going to be in trouble right from the get-go. Norrens, does he want him to flip the car? Nah, we don't need more cars. I'll just peek out of the window. Boop, there he goes.
And as Day Trade, I mean, every game here has just been, I mean, there's no better way to say it. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for Day Trade. They've really not been able to get anything going. Again, a team that's so effectively in the past, and especially international events, has been able to frag out hard, or at the very least cause issues for other teams, or just pretty much just point sponges at this point, which I hate to see, because they have such a good roster, and they've been successful in international events in the past. So whatever is happening to that team here is just, it's been difficult. It's not been working out.
I mean, we kind of coined them 2 days ago as the team out of APAC that put that region on the map, right? And they were, and I feel like there's still a lot of, since it's not too many roster changes through, there's still a lot of that same power on the team that could go out and play in similar fashion to what we saw then. Only issue is, and we see it time and time again, when a team starts improving, other teams will actively go out and try to counterplay. And I feel like a lot of the fights we've seen Day Trade go for, where they split out, where they try and, really catch people from multiple angles. Teams, as soon as they know they're up against Day Trade, they expect that. They don't just look straight ahead. They start looking behind the trees on the side, where normally you could tend to sort of tunnel vision ahead of you. The teams that got punished by Day Trade in the past by some of these weird flanks and around that they like to set up, now those flanks are being caught mid-rotation, and that's why you're seeing more and more Day Trade players, even though it's a position they've won from a trillion times in the past, getting caught while running in the open. You go, wait, Norrens, you're a phenomenal player. Why would you caught like that? It's simply just because people have learned to play against Day Trade, but Day Trade haven't really invented something new to counterplay essentially the other team's counterplay.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck in their old ways, and as you said, I mean, you nailed the nail on the head, and it's the fact that their splits. Yeah. Their splits are getting just lambasted. Every time a team knocks a member of Day Trade or they eat a knock, they're like, okay, they're split somewhere. We might as well just push this compound, get rid of them. Sometimes it's not even a split. Sometimes it's just one member, as you said, Norrens sometimes by himself, or even Puchios will just be off somewhere getting an off angle. As soon as they realize that, they push that, they get rid of it, and then Daytrade becomes one less member every single circle.
But at the same time, I feel like Daytrade is also one of those teams that are just one good game away from kind of unlocking or getting through the hurdles. We know APAC to be one of the most momentum-driven teams. Let's see a replay of... Is that a headshot we're about to see?
Ooh.
Body shot, body shot, body shot. And headshot. Oh my god. A fadeaway headshot at Matulans as he fell down from that. I didn't even catch that when we were talking about the other teams. Now though, circle pops as we hard shift south. Now this one, my friends, is going to be a spicy one as half the circle has to go south. But I give you one question, dear Godspeed. Where are they gonna go?
We talked about it before. These rotations would be so difficult as Deva will find Global Army here as all the teams have now made their shift. And so for every team that actually decided to hedge their bets on the south will be vastly rewarded. As look at all these rotations coming in. 17 has to contend with Na'Vi on the south side of Razak.
They gotta group up fast because they're not gonna be the only two teams that are gonna be in Razak. Alia wraps up over. Headshot connected onto Xiaowu as it takes him down again. Alia, such a power player here through the last couple of days of play for Na'Vi. Whenever Uber and Example haven't been able to get anything going, Alia has been the one to say, come on boys, we got this, we can do this. Really stepping up, rising to the occasion and fragging out.
And you said it, his ability to step up and really kind of help the team where they needed it the most. I mean, the fragging powder alone from just, you know, Example, Uba obviously so strong, but he has just been such an unstoppable force here and really kind of dragging Na'Vi to their feet.
I mean, sometimes the people that wait the longest get the best result. And honestly, I feel like for Alia, this is where I saw him play as I hold that thought. I don't want to go down and tantrum on him because finding one, maybe more to go with Sabim trying to run on over CC. Does his name ring next in the kill feed? No, the tree granting just enough cover for him to get away to safety. Oh. That was close.
But anyway, you were saying.
Anyway, I was saying, Alia, if we go way back when, just for a brief moment, as we probably won't have time to talk about it, he's a player that when he played for Swarm back in 19, yes, it's that far back, he was the player that anchored pretty well, that held the team together.
Sure.
Whenever things went wrong, he would be the one to corral the troops. And he, ever since joining Na'Vi, didn't really have or need to have much of that sort of role, as we're seeing again, Game PT finding Sabin players running around in the open. It's just phenomenal to see that now you have a roster where it's not been needed. It's not been needed for Alia to step up and become that player because Uber has delivered, because Example has delivered. Even Melman for a brief moment was the fragger of the team. And now Alia is like, you know what? He hasn't been waiting for this, but he's been prepared for this moment for a long time, and here he is fragging the hell out. I love to see it.
And that's a very good point because of how they played winners bracket, right?
Exactly.
Now coming in and dragging them again to their feet. And I'm also very glad we saw that on the west side because I was just talking about how difficult the rotation will be, especially when you go to Cube when the circle shifts south. And sure enough, we see Game PT just take control of that area, and now they have so much to work with on the west side.
Well, I would say most teams, actually all teams, have somehow managed to stay alive through this. We haven't eliminated a single one yet. 60 players still alive, more than I would have anticipated. But of course, with both Razak and Apartments still in play, there is still compounds and spots to play for. This next circle shift, though, should be fully commit over towards school. It's going to see all those teams in the north still. The teams on the west have to really rotate. But you know what we could do to make things even worse?
Maybe
hard shift north again.
Yeah, maybe a hard shift north. I was going to say, even these southern hills here, just to the north of Potato Hill, I mean, this is not comfortable positions that you see some of these teams in. Obviously, LG is going to be up on a shelf. You have Petrichor here just to their east, and it's going to be okay. This is so open, and I hate apartment. I cannot tell you, Toby, as a player, how much I hated apartment endings.
But you're going to love them more with blue zone nades.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about blue zone grenades.
Now, how many teams can we fit into apartments, and how many blue zone nades are we going to see? Love for him, the first ones to go, actually leaving Garden Compound. It's still far enough south of the water that it could have been in play next circle, but for him, again, they want to play control, they want to play this one smart. They know that there's a good chance of this one going further south. Nice suppressive fire there for Crazy. Getting perfect X-Knock should allow for the rest onto Xiaopian.
That was huge, and this building actually is probably one of the better ones to play, especially because you don't have to deal with a lot of the apartments there. But look at how much space has been left, as you're pointing out, Toby, with 4 AM leaving that garden compound.
There's so much room on the northeast. I mean, Forest are going to be coming in very scared of all the teams they're going to be running into. Soon they'll realize that there's absolutely no one up there. J compound is free,
well,
Garden is free, Volcano, they can stop and scout from all they want because everyone has full speed sent it into the either school or into apartments, and the rest of them aren't there yet, but will probably commit to the same because there's no good reason to imagine that the east is free at this point.
No, because of the circle and because of that hard shift as well. And I mean, as you said, even though there's water, Garden, that 8-pack compound should still very much be in, at least on the very edge. And so everyone has opted to try to get into the apartments, as we now see D plus Key as well rotating alongside it. In tandem of E-Arena, sprays coming out as 17 gets wiped by Mel and Uba on the right side of your screen.
Finally able to clear out at least the southwest side of Rostock. That's going to allow for Na'Vi to spread out a little bit more as the fights continued. Now it's down towards the southern side as Day Trade and DD Team battle one another. E-Arena have made landfall here, but we go up towards the hillsides of Potato Hill. 2 down on the side of Day Trade, 1 down on the side of DD Team. DD Team hasn't really gotten anything going at all this tournament so far, so maybe a full-on flush on Day Trade could be the start for them.
2 teams that actually, oh, that was such a disgusting angle there. Just through the wood pieces on the backside as Day Trade now just down to Norins. Again, just a game after game, they have found struggles, and Spaceman will find it. DD Team will cleanly wipe Day Trade.
And welcome to the highlights, DD Team. We've been waiting for you the entire tournament. Again, I mean, if they can corral around this, there was no kills on the side of Mamu this entire fight. They instantly hop up, take their focus to Expendables, who rightly so slowly start creeping up this hillside, but it seems like DD Team are starting to realize, boys, if we don't step it up soon, we are out of this tournament. 4 kills already in this one, looking to get even more.
So DD Team, as you said, in a decent position for the time being. The circle should shift south, and that will give them even more room to play with, as the Expendables know that they really don't have to do anything. They don't have to take this push uphill. They have that barn compound just to the south of Waves, and this is going to go to school. As actually a lot more of the south was cut off than I initially thought.
Yeah, it's going to go pretty much as close to water as can be on this shift. Everyone on the hills are going to be forced to leave because E-Arena, as we saw just before, did claim the shacks down towards the south side of apartments. So everyone up here now having to find their way either into Arena or into apartments, or towards school, because again, little do they know, Garden is free, but no one's even looking that way.
Yeah, everyone is just rotating past. I'm curious if one of those teams is going to realize the fact that it is free, is D plus Kia will now get absolutely annihilated as the Expendables there in those wave compounds taking shots, and now look at this, crash after crash, just driving right into apartments or the 2-story near it.
Huss tries to quickly jump on in, jumps into fire, gets exploded while doing so, and look at the kill feed pop off here as now Na'Vi tries to wrap over the top of the hill too, but they have Expendables over on their side as well. Once again though, 4AM able to reset. The team has really been struggling this tournament so far, and in particular here in the losers bracket as well, as we started off the day. Only a couple of points, but maybe their center position now can transfer into a good game.
And Forest have actually realized that that compound is free, as now the Expendables getting on the backside of where Na'Vi is. They hear the nade. They're going to abandon Uba for the time being, and they're going to pour over. Duckjuice is going to try to get the spray to Mel. He won't find it. And they're going to be a little bit of a reset. Oh, but Delwyn with the P90 will get the flush.
Tyloo from the other side heard the commotion. They saw the knocks in the kill feed too, and they wanted to take action here. Smart decision making on their part. If they can clear out Rostock, then they can focus on pushing out themselves. They didn't have a good spot before, but now, with Na'Vi almost done for, they should be just fine. Exambelow still a hurdle, still a threat for the remaining Tyloo players to deal with.
The thing that still impresses me, though, the Expendables making all the right decisions. As Expendables almost gets 2.
He had him. 18 HP, he had him, but he clicked, he ran out of ammo. You can see his reaction too. Expendables has to commit to this one. There's 2 knock players down below. Issue is, do you dare? Could you even get down there in time?
It's not worth.
No,
it's just not worth it.
Can't do it. It's dangerous to fully commit, because as soon as you push down that hill, there's any other team could push up over and be the ones to keep you the same way they're currently looking down towards Tyloo. I saw Example with 10 bullets in the mag then. I was like, oh no, Example, please don't. And luckily for him, Had he had 11, that would probably have been a double kill.
Very intelligent off angle here from Shen, though. Basically watching for that push down, especially with multiple members knocked. So he did buy Tyloo all the time that they needed to recover all 4 members here. As, again, the Expendables is choosing the right windows and really capitalizing with their timing, just doing a beautiful job. Even though in the last couple games they have struggled, as they also lost members early, they still are imposing their will on these circles, and it's wonderful to see as they're not letting those bad games affect them.
Sure is, sure is. Circle, oh Circle, where do you take us? Center once more. I feel like this game is just saying, guys, go to school.
This is such a gross circle, by the way.
It really is. And also, I mean, the interesting thing to keep in mind, Twisted Minds has full control of school, but they have full control with only 3 players. Right. They actually sit in arguably the best position you could possibly in here. Full circle control, full school control, and they have a player inside an entire apartment for himself as well. But here comes Expendables up close to what has just been this DDT push. 1 nade over, could be an entire team wide.
Yeah, they actually set up so beautifully for this. The Expendables again were aware, and they backed up to the south while still leaving Delwyn on the north. Is so proactive. I love it from this team.
Pretty smart decision-making. Issue is, while DD team could wrap around before pretty safely, as soon as they get out of the car, E-Arena said, yeah, we're not going to allow her to just run around over there. Once they drove off, E-Arena knew there's no one left behind us. We can now start flexing out. We can now start claiming control. And DD team, the first team in their crosshairs as Expendables push forward.
They're just getting peppered as well, as you said, from E-Arena, and they're backing up now as they realize the majority of the work is being done by E-Arena. There's no reason for them to commit too hard, as it's just Emo Pig now, and he is going to be taken out cleanly by the Expendables.
And all this is only happening because Delwyn single-handedly contains Tyloo. Had he not been up there, up on the top of Rozhok Hill, the entire team would be in so much trouble. But with the P90 in hand, he's been able to suppress the entirety of Tyloo, and Tyloo is just kind of been okay with it, seemingly. The 3 players up here. They have 755 down behind. They're outside the next circle, but have not really been in a hurry to try and make a play despite seeing Expendables kills in the kill feed. Look at this. They're just sat here, waiting it out. And again, this is not the Tyloo we saw in groups. I mean, Shen, Xiaoyang, they were out there dominating the server, and now it's as if they're again playing it a bit more safe. To use Patulin's words, people know there's lots of risk if you don't finish top 8 here in the losers bracket.
The biggest problem, though, is the fact that Twisted Minds would have been able to dictate that fight quite handily, as they're now pulling off to the side of school and then just getting dominated by Lou. And Long's actually the one to be the benefactor. He's going to steal all of these kills.
Yep, trying to claim as much as he can. As is that his own nade? I think it is. He just took himself out. Yeah, I'm not going to make it anyway. I don't know if he tried to lob it over the wall, maybe to bounce back, but that did not work out for him whatsoever. Delwyn, in the meantime, tries to get down. Not gonna work out. Expendables out, and Tyloo now again well aware that they are in all kinds of control towards the north. Instantly after, though, E-Arena pushes in from the south side, so Twisted Minds has to react quickly.
They've been defending so well from multiple angles. That nade gonna land very close. Not enough damage, but it does do enough to kind of stave off this push, as KM99 will be the only one to make it in the wall, but Perfectus will jump over like a Spider-Man just coming from above.
He landed on his face and took him out instantly. He had 9 kills in the previous game. He has 5 kills here. Perfectix is on a tear.
That man just came over like, just, what's up?
Yeah, just full on. It's your Auditorio style as Twisted Minds. I feel like we're fair enough. They can sweep off like that. They get the circle too.
Why not?
Why not?
But I will say, though, for the Expendables, for all those good plays, I wish they had just committed to the fight against Tyloo instead of going for that. That just pretty much put them in view of Tyloo, as well as contending with Twisted Minds.
Now we're giving Twisted Minds a circle and an MG3, though. I feel like it's getting a bit out of hand at this point. Now let's guys.
Look at the bunch up in apartments, though, Toby.
Yep, it's going to be wild, no doubt. And think what Twisted Minds is, the IGL is set over there, too. I'm not sure if Petulins currently has a plan of how do I get back to my teammates, because he's well aware there's opponents everywhere. And Friendly Fire now, they wants to push Petrichor.
This is what I'm getting anxiety just thinking about pushing all these apartments, clearing it floor by floor, not even having to deal with the fact that blue zone grenades were a thing back when I was playing. And so this just becomes such a claustrophobic affair, as every single building needs to be cleared. Otherwise, you are bound to have snakes backstab you, and it's just the worst feeling, especially fighting in this area.
Petrichor is down to 2, so good that Churi is able to at least buy his teammates some sort of time upstairs. Mill sat there trying to fend off against anything coming his way. Pixel should be able to get rest here. Now Tyloo driving full speed forward. He tried to time it right, but no one's really making a play just yet. And here comes Tyloo full speed forward. Long's first one to fall. The rest of the team make landfall though.
They will at the very least, yeah, as you said, make it to the north side of this kind of fence, this wall, but Forest also with a nice angle, which is going to push them on the west side, which Twisted is very ready to defend.
Yeah, definitely are. Tyloo, I feel like they have to somehow try and push, if not to get inside the school proper, then make space for themselves. They need to force Forest to look the other way, and if they just stay prone like this, I'm worried that one nade from a teammate that pushes out could be the downfall of them, because no one can contain, like no one can deny Twisted Minds to play on the east side of this building right now.
Especially with the way, I mean, just Perfectix alone is just an absolute animal right now.
Yeah.
6 kills in this game. He had 9 in one of the previous. I mean, he is absolutely on fire. And another player on fire from Friendly Fire has been Pixel 1K.
Yeah, definitely so. Only one kill this one, but has impressed us time and time again. As now Friendly Fire try to wrap back around the northern side of this one. Are they going to take a car? Are they going to play it on foot? I feel like they have to play foot here. Issue is, as the team moves further forward, they have 4am set right in front of them. Pixel is now starting to realize that this might not have been the best direction to run.
Oh, but a knock from Sharp all of a sudden now could open the door at least for... Oh, never mind. They just got shredded in the blue.
Yeah, they tried to wrap down on the southern side. The knock came through from Chewy early enough for them to reconsider. Then when they tried to wrap back down south, or north, I mean, it wasn't meant to be. There's simply too many people looking in their direction, and they were the only team that had to make a play.
That nade from Lou is now going to create quite a bit of pressure. The blue zone grenade as well. And Tyloo has not been able to move as Lou is going to track this quite accurately through. What is that? The nade froze.
That is
Bucky in the way of
so unlucky, and this is what I was just talking about. If they don't somehow manage to spread at least just a little bit of fear to Twisted Minds, if they just sit out there on the backside of the wall, there's nothing they can do to deny Twisted Minds a push to get within nade range, and therefore they fall. Jury now, solo player for his team, is sat here looking at Batulins trying to fend off against the entirety of Luminosity. As Kickstart, the first one to fall, and look at the space that he has to work with, is practically nothing.
You got to move faster than that. Chewy is... He's still very much in the blue. Yeah, what is his plan? LG desperately trying to fight against just a one-man army here of Batulin. Well, he's just gonna... Okay, he's just gonna deny the point, I guess.
Top 5 guaranteed.
Why not?
Yeah, that's something. In the meantime, now Batulins against the remaining 3 players of Luminosity. It's gonna try and IGL while also fending off against a pretty formidable force of players downstairs. He's outside the next circle. He's going to have to make a play eventually. But how, oh how, my friend, are you planning on getting out of this building alive?
Maybe. I don't think he does. As long as he can just get rid of LG, get some points here. And
they can't go up. Yeah, they can't go up at all. Batulins is set up above. They're trying to smoke a path forward. Maybe there's a play for him to make. He doesn't have any lethal. Nades, Twisted Minds. Look at the angle that they have. They can defend him down below. Shots ring on through as Flood and Relo fall right after one another.
And Batulins will finally fall, but the amount of damage he was able to do was just so devastating to the side of LG, and now realistically it's 4am that needs to make the move up towards Forest, as Forest has been sitting at that check, fortified for quite a while as Stakers will fall to the blue.
So many smokes deployed, so hard to really see where you are, where you're going, and now as you were saying, 4am, they want to take the fight to Forest first. They know that Twisted Minds is in a position from where they will easily take them out if they run straight up the hill, so they have to somehow take out Forest without any casualties, then reset, then take the fight to Twisted Minds, but they won't let him have it.
And again, just the amount of position and dominance we've seen from Twisted Minds holding school as a 3-man for this long is beyond impressive, as 4am is getting shredded trying to cross this road between not only Forest, but as well as Twisted.
Yeah, somehow still alive in this one, as Perfectix claims kill number 8. He's at over 1100 damage in this game. There's no stopping him once he gets going. And this one could just be written home as a win for Twisted Minds, but it ain't over just yet.
Oh, 12 kills now as 4am just trying to stay alive. Crazy will go down. Olympus will find him. And it's going to be Perfectus, of course. Why not to finish off another 9-kill game from this absolute beast of a player.
9 kills, 1300 damage, make that almost 1400. We're looking at a record-breaking performance at a global stage here. Twisted Minds, we had ourselves doubting whether they were going to be able to make anything happen after their group stage performance. They did not look comfortable, but Batulin said it earlier, we have to play smart, and what's smarter than letting your top fragger go out and do what he does here?
Disgusting amount of damage. Not even just him, Lou also getting some kills, Spyro as well. The fact that they, again, have been able to defend school alone without any help, as Scappy does make it across, but now
14.
Muto, what are you going to do in this situation?
Absolutely insane performance. Now, I know they haven't had to fight too much up close, but they have. Perfectus was the one tasked with defending the school down towards the southwest side. Every time a team full-on pulled up on them, it was him standing up against them. E-Arena came in, he jumped into their face and took them out 1v3, but now, here we are between the final two teams. Forest, do you have it in you to take out Twisted Minds when they're this warm?
Oh, Muto somehow miraculously makes that cross as they're now in the north wall of school, and they're going to be able to spread out fairly well here. But look at Lou. Lou has already read this, and he has the MG3 as well. 66 rounds, but that is more than enough to take at least one, if not two knocks, if not all three.
Definitely. Look at the HP on the side of Forest as well. They have nothing to work with. I'm not seeing Munto heal at all, so I don't even think he has got anything either. They're changing some bits, and now finally Mets are being deployed, but Lou ain't peeking just yet. He's gonna wanna, I think, really, I think he wants his teammates to try and distract so that they can then swing around the corner.
And again, the setup here from Twisted is just so devastating for the team of Forest.
He's waiting for the circle to close in. They have no clue he's there.
No, they don't.
Once the circle closes in, they're going, why would there be anyone backstabbing us? Lou is going to get a double in just a second's time. It's going to be looking very, very good because Scappy and Munto has absolutely no idea what's about to hit him.
Yeah. So now he's going to get a free angle, and he's going to find one. Potentially, Scappy is down to 1 HP on his belly as the vehicle explodes and gives him a better angle, but he is, at the very least, for the time being, hide behind that buggy. Oh, but this nade.
He's down. No heals as well. That's going to be him knocked. And now Olympus left alive. Do we get Perfectix into double digits or do we not? Spiro hurt him, vault in. Are they going to give it to him? Are they just going to want to hunt it? Are they just going to want to secure this one? Olympus is hearing all the steps up above. If there's a place these players are used to fighting up close, that is school. This is where they go in all their normal games, all their practice games, into school to hot drop. Let's see if he can somehow pull off a 1v3 miracle.
15 kills. Look how aware Twisted has been throughout this whole game. Lou now could potentially even just throw away his life just to make sure that they know exactly where Olympus is. And he is going to deny to the blue. Very wise, as Twisted Minds with an insane performance here in the first game of Erangel.
Look at the smiles of Perfectix. He knows, closing in on 1,500 damage. 18 kills by one player in just 2 matches. This is unheard of at a global stage of PUBG.
And what a way to close out, again, their first game on Erangel. The confidence that that team has built, as we said earlier, with the amazing performance from Na'Vi, has to be astronomically high.
And I'm just gonna say, no bias here, but Savim win, Na'Vi win, Twisted Minds win. Seems like EME has come out to play today.
I mean, I can't deny the results are there, right? So it'd be foolish of me to do so. But man, what an adjustment and what an amazing play from them. I still look at the Expendables when I think about that push potentially on the Tyloo up in the north.